Doing a little bit of a social experiment today. Let's just introduce ourselves. I'm Juan Lopez, one of the digital media coordinators.
Johnny Benitez, another digital coordinator.
Not Gazitua, unfortunately.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. It's not Luis Gazitua. I am Luis Gazitua. I put it. Should do the two in
With
the
a
air.
two?
Like the two.
Or you peace sign two.
My cousin has that, and I'm mad about that as far as the handle. He changed the, he removed the TU with the number 2. It's pretty.
Yeah,
That's kind of brilliant.
That's
Wow.
pretty savy.
You know, he's just he's more techie than me. He was
a
on
game
Twitter before I
changer.
did. I know.
That's a game changer.
It's like buying a jersey. I might have to pay him for
How many
it.
followers does he have? He have more followers than
He's
you?
got more. He's in the political field, which is
Oh,
he needs
that
it.
doesn't count.
so he's throwing landmines on Twitter.
So he's in the political field with a guys with two.
Sounds familiar.
yeah.
Whoa.
No, but
I like that.
That's
Voting for him.
risky.
He's hot takey, man. My cousin
is hot
Andy,
takey.
he's hot
So
takey.
he's
Dan,
in-
right?
No, Luis Gazitua.
Luis A.
There's
Gazitua?
another Luis
Luis
Gazitua.
Andres Gazitua. I'm Luis Rafael.
Oh, Luis A.
He's
Gazitua.
Andy. I'm Luis. But
I'm Angel.
He says Andy on Twitter. He's Mr. Hot Take.
But he likes a lot of your stuff.
Yeah, support your supporters, man.
I think my favorite Gazitua like response that's not from Luis Gazitua or Lisa was, I think it's your uncle,
Okay.
that he was like, "This is funny. Congratulations."
Oh, Ralph.
Brilliant.
Oh, on
He
the comments.
commented-
On the
Yes.
comment, he goes, "This is funny. Congrats."
Dude,
Congrats, you're
shout-
finally funny.
No, shout out to I mean, look at my uncle. He's on social media now too.
Your uncle's the guy who's like swole out of his mind.
Ripped.
He's
a monster.
He's the most in shape. I didn't even tell
Whatever
you his age.
age.
He'll tell you. He's up there, but he's
impressive.
impressive.
All right,
But-
so a part of what we wanted to do here was kind of just talk about what is JAG doing social media wise. Like just this tack. That's like an open table. This is like the entire digital media team.
Yeah.
Gaz, thanks for being here with us and facilitating this. Even though we're all kind of facilitating it because we're all like second nature facilitators
And supporting us.
and supporting us.
Absolutely.
One thing that we had mentioned, or I think it's kind of like, let's just get, I don't want to call it boring, but kind of like the more starchy, like the big macro parts of it too, is why is there an insurance company in Miami, Florida, boutique, high-end, commercial, does everything, I say commercial, but it does everything, insurance company, putting out content every day? Like, what are we doing?
Multiple pieces of content
Yeah.
across several
multiple-
platforms.
It's a lot of stuff.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like it's almost not an unmanageable monster because obviously we're like managing it, but it is because we come in here every day and we just do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Correct.
then when you look back and you're like, oh my god, look at all this stuff that I wrote, look at all this stuff that I edited, look at all this stuff that we filmed, and we were talking earlier, and we'll get into it. Like we spent 2 hours and a half
I'll bring it
yesterday.
up. Yeah, we spent, the three of us, we spent 2 hours from inception to completion for a 1 minute video.
Insane.
And if I'm honest with you, that's 2 hours with like a quick whip up of an idea, and like the editing wasn't too in depth. It was just cut and paste. It was a great video.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious.
Shout out to Max.
Shout out to Max. We're talking specifically about the Max video that we put out. But I think like a big thing is like just seeing how a lot of companies are moving to this format, and even when they do that, like not how like elite that we're able to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how that phrasing was completely off, but like
I'll take it.
you know what I mean. Like we do it at such a high quality level, but we look up and the ceilings are so much higher.
Yeah.
It's like, man, we haven't even scratched the surface
Right.
of it.
Yeah.
So like, it's like, what do we? Just seeing other companies like start their journey, and like, bro, we're not even a year into it.
Not even a year. We started really. I would say like I started in January, but then you came on 2-3 months later, and even then Johnny's been here 2 months, 2-3 months, and probably
September.
a year from now we'll have an additional person or additional 2 people. Like who knows where this is?
Would love that.
Like who knows?
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
like
No pressure.
who knows?
No pressure.
Who knows how this is gonna grow and how it's gonna go? But
But get into like, well, for a few reasons, but let's get into like the intention and the purpose of it. Like,
Yeah, I
as
think
much
it's
as
important
it-
to hear from you about it.
Well, I mean, the intention is, and I think I mentioned before, I don't even want to use the word social media.
Yeah.
I think there's like this really it's almost like a negative term when we talk to people who are not doing it. Oh, social media, it's like it's bad. I think we should just call it attention platforms if everybody would feel more comfortable.
Attention platforms is good.
Attention platforms, only because that's the purpose of what we're doing. Is we're really trying to draw attention to the business and to draw attention in the most organic, transparent way we can, which is to show off, really like transferring like the authenticity of what we are, and trying to reach people that we couldn't reach otherwise.
Correct.
Right? There's only so many phone calls, hence that we could make, and or emails we can write, and then the traffic in Miami.
Yeah.
You'd spend 2 meetings a day. It's basically your whole day.
That's a good day. Yeah.
This is just a great way to kind of show who we are a lot faster, a lot clearer to a whole new different level of people we want to get to.
Correct. And the truth is, effective, the inception of Facebook, per se, Twitter and Instagram, attention is the new currency.
100%.
It's, I mean, there's the old PR adage that's like, all what is it? All
publicity
press,
is good publicity.
All press is good press.
Yeah.
I think it only says that as people who get bad press. That's like the spin, right? That's a PR team stepping in. No. It's bad press is good press. I'm not sure about that.
But the interesting part of it is like, okay, like for companies, like if you're watching this and you own a company, you're like, man, like I enjoy the way JAG does their social media. It looks like they have everything so put together. It's like, it's understanding that like we have the only way that we've gotten there is understanding what our macro goal is.
Correct.
And like, when I got hired, we're talking with the partners, talking with you, like we never wanted to be like hey, come buy insurance today, call this number, and then put $100 in ads behind that and get
billboards
it to
and stuff like that.
It was just more about showcasing our culture, showcasing our talent, as far as like, our account executives, our techs, all of the people in the trenches.
Our culture, our people.
Our culture.
Kind of what we do.
We are.
Yeah.
I think we do a great job of that, but it's like for a lot of these companies, it's kind of like deciding like what is our end goal here. There's some industries that require an ROI. Like my wife, she for example does digital marketing, but for like HVAC and plumbers, which is not very fun, and they need the phone calls. Like I need you to call my number, and like I need to go to your house and fix your pipe.
Yeah.
That's weird. But
But completely necessary.
Completely necessary to fix the pipe.
It's important.
Pipes need to be fixed. But like
That's what she said.
that's what she said.
I was waiting. Someone had to
Sorry,
do it.
I'm sorry.
I'm looking at him.
I had to say that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna edit
That's
it.
a layup.
I'm not gonna edit it out.
It's staying in.
But see, that's okay. So like, what just happened is like a good example of how transparent we are with our culture. And it's like, we are. It's a company of generally that's the people who are per se older, and I say that because like there's no one old here. Like old is like a mindset, not really a number.
Well said.
Fair.
And that's what I'm getting at. It's
Backed into that one.
That was a good
That
back.
was a Deion Sanders. We see someone backpedal. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was a pretty. It's more about like age being like.
I picked up the flag. That was going to be a pass interference, and we're like, oh, no.
Yeah, no.
He got his head around. No, he got his head around.
As a matter of fact, they awarded me 10 yards too, and they're like, "Yeah, give him the touchdown. Forget it."
No, but that's well said. Well said. And when I think about this too, I think it's for me. And I think if you're going to promote your business, you definitely got to believe in it, right? A motivating factor is to kind of show the stuff we got going on here, because it'd be a disservice. Sometimes I get upset that more people don't know kind of the stories of everybody here,
Right. Yeah.
and what we're doing and how we get along and how we're growing together. It's really, I get frustrated as well as we're doing that not enough people are seeing it.
Yeah.
Not because of me and doing it, it's because I want them to see it. It's there's something special going on in these four walls.
Well, you believe in your company.
100%.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'll let you expound on this, but I think a lot of people don't like. Okay, like Fernie's always said something that he's like, if you're not doing this, like if you're not diving into digital marketing, like you will be irrelevant.
Dinosaur.
You will. He quotes. You will die.
100%.
Like 100%.
I mean, now most people are going to our social media page rather than go to your website. It's
Right.
also social media first. Website.
I do
There's-
social media first. Man.
There's no more business cards. It's what's your Instagram? What's your Facebook?
That's
What's your LinkedIn?
You know, but, and then two, you also expose yourself too. So if you're not really who you are, you can't do this all the time, every day. You can't invest into this.
I have
I can't
hung out
sit-
with you in the office and out of the office, and both times are a great time.
And it's the same
Yeah,
person.
it's just you. The person
And
that's
so
on
is
camera.
Doug, so is
Yeah.
Fernie, so
Everybody
is
here.
Mel.
Everybody here.
I try my best to do that. I'm very like.
There's no
hey,
hiding.
There's no
But think
hiding.
Right,
about
you
it. Like,
can't-
I mean, and you could try, and you could probably do it for a couple weeks. How exhausting would it be to lie or pretend to be someone you're not every day?
Well,
Right.
that facade, dude.
I mean, but it's Miami, so like we see.
You
people
could
do
fine,
it.
but you could do it once in a while. You could do like 30-minute
No,
runs.
I agree with you. I'm
But to
agreeing
do
with
it
you.
every day and then literally just sit up here and kind of open yourself up, or open door policy, put it on camera.
Correct.
Like just what we do every day, show it. You couldn't. It'll be. I'm exhausted thinking about it.
yeah.
Correct.
It's too much work.
The other thing, and I like for you to expound on this
Yeah.
one. It's I was thinking like, I think companies are not doing because they're like, well, what would I say?
Yeah.
Like, what would we do? Like, or my industry is boring. I'm like, listen, man, no disrespect, and my partners, my bosses will tell you, like, insurance is not flashy. It's not fun. But
Stuffy.
we make it happen. It's
Yeah.
stuffy, like typical insurance is stuff.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing like progressive commercials or State Farm, like,
But
those
let's
are,
talk about that. The Progressive and Geico commercials. When you see them on TV, what do they tell you about the insurance?
They're throwing you rates.
Nothing. They're
just-
throwing you comedy characters.
Mhm.
They're putting all this dressing on it
Yeah.
because they know if you do a commercial, it's like you'll save 15% on your. No one wants that. No one.
Yeah, I'm never I hear like saving 15% would mean about a $15, $15 to $20 savings for me, which is pretty good. Like
Yeah.
if I got on a budget,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah. Like,
But I will get their insurance just because I like the commercials.
Like, oh man,
Nah,
that
well,
caveman
that's not
was
true.
funny.
Freddie told me I need to get a specific company, and that's what we got.
Yeah.
Really?
Sorry to those companies.
Who's your agent? Me or Fernie? Oh, Fernie is.
I think Fernie is.
Yeah.
I think Fernie's.
I'm
my
gonna.
agent.
I think we'll be upset.
I
if
want to get an AOR. I'm gonna AOR. Lou's gonna
transfer it across the hall to
No,
me.
that would be a catastrophe.
That would
That
be
would-
fun. That would be
that
funny.
would-
That'll be another
But-
joke video.
People are very scared. I think number one, what you were talking about of exposing themselves. People don't think that they're interesting, and I mean,
And you're not.
you're not. Sometimes
I'm
you're
just
not.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
But that doesn't mean your staff isn't interesting. That
Well,
doesn't
look,
mean.
first of all, I think everybody's
Right.
I think
I
everybody.
agree.
You know,
interesting.
I think this whole
Everyone's
thing.
got their little
Everyone's
niche.
got their story, and I think most people shy away from their own identity. The truth is, like your own specific identity, that should be your superpower. Like the fact that we're
100.
different is what makes us special.
Well,
me and before Johnny got here, me and Juan could not be more polar opposites, personality wise.
That makes you interesting.
It makes us. It makes her. It makes me interesting. It makes him.
it makes us better because I'm more passive. He's more of like
Kind of
I have
Competition.
a, I have a violent sense of urgency.
yes. So and then, but what happens? Like he
Pretty
pushes
articulate.
me, I become less passive and more, and I'm like, okay, I gotta do this stuff. But then I also pacify him.
Yeah,
and
tells
he
me,
and
he
he
takes the edge off.
and
Like,
it's
chill
just
out.
like
But go back to the whole people not thinking they're interesting. I think everybody is interesting.
yeah.
Change your perspective. I
Yeah.
think if you're, but if
There's
you're,
something- yeah.
if you're comparing yourself to somebody else or
That's the
in a
problem.
situation, that's the problem. Which that's not even legit.
Well,
I'm fascinated by stories and
yeah,
people.
me too.
And
and
are
what
there
they're
people
doing.
probably more interesting than you? Yeah, like
Yeah.
probably Picasso was way more interesting than me.
But that's subjective.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
the point. That was my
Clearly
next point.
subjective.
There's some people who are gonna be like, man, Picasso sucked.
Yeah, but then the other person next to him is like, Picasso's brilliant.
He's brilliant.
And I'm like, no.
Picasso changed art.
Yeah, he did, but not till he died.
Yeah.
Then
And
everyone was
Picasso-
like, this guy was kind of good.
And he copied a lot of things. What? A lot of them did.
Yeah.
No, but I just think it's interesting, man. Like, I think it's an interesting conversation. It's like we're one of the few companies that does what we do
Yeah.
in the space in the industry that we do it in.
Insurance
to the
is
degree
barren.
and how we do it.
Yeah.
Like we picked our strengths. We, like it's what Gary Vee says. We just doubled down on our strengths. Like we
Yeah.
are people who have a high motor. We have people who know how to execute at a very high level. But at the core, it's just a silly goose time, man.
Yeah.
It's just like dude, like.
Well, let's go back to remember when we were in New York. I mean, we spoke to an agent, and he told us that he was like a musician part time, and we're like, oh man, you should incorporate that into your social media, and he was terrified.
Yeah,
Legit,
well, how do you-
he's like,
Mind you, that's a tall glass of water, man.
Yeah.
That's not him, but like,
Super
like
interesting.
that's
No,
like
I think he thought
weird-
people wouldn't. It's almost like you're supposed to portray something you are as far as a profession, and if you talk about something else, maybe you're not as you'd be taken as serious.
well,
of what
correct.
you're
Well, let's
doing.
talk about that a little bit because you do a lot of funny videos, like videos that are silly per se. Some of them I think are high art. But
it's comedic art.
but let's like, have you had a client like? There's been no client that's like, look, man, I don't wanna be.
I don't really trust you, man. You're really funny.
Yeah, like no one.
No, not yet. Not
No,
yet.
you- not-
That we know of.
Not that we know of. But
Yeah.
I can't control that. Going back to the reason. Number one, I just think it's generally.
Imagine someone doesn't like you because you're funny.
No, they're not gonna be a client of mine.
That's fine.
But you don't want them to be a client.
We're
of
not
yours.
gonna connect. It's not gonna be long term. Like I'm not trying to.
And I think that's important too, is that we want clients that vibe with us and that understand, because
I do vibe checks all the time on our clients.
Yeah, because here's the thing, like
kidding,
if
I don't.
you're
Lying.
coming
He
in,
doesn't talk to our
Like,
clients.
we don't talk to the client.
Not at all.
the carrier,
He talks to me.
God.
which
Talks to me all
the
day.
carriers, which is like insurance lingo, but like the people that we work with to get people insurance, because we're the go-between between the insurance company and
we're a broker.
and the client. But they come in here and they love what we're doing because obviously if we do well, they're doing well. And then there's clients that come in and we get the picture and we get them involved and it's fun for them too. It's like,
Yeah,
We're making insurance fun. We're really
We're making it fun, and I think there's just this at its core. Most people, if you're not in the insurance business, obviously you're not going to understand it. But from a core, I think a lot of times fear is used to sell. Right? I don't like using the word sell. I use
That's
the
a
word
good point.
Helping. So everyone almost has this whole
solutionizing.
But leading with fear then creates kind of this lack of transparency.
Well, the difficulty in that is that insurance, at its core, is a preventative measure.
correct. Like you're still.
But then he's saying it's
It
driven
should
by
be-
fear.
It should be. We position it where we're really developing peace of mind. We're
Yeah,
bringing it up.
yeah.
I'm showing you're buying what you think
It's
you're
not like, oh, you're
going to
gonna buy
make
a
you
house.
comfortable.
Right.
Correct.
Not just if you don't do this, it's going to happen.
Right,
Which
right.
is, but like it's the news, right? Everything leads with fear.
Every time a
fear
hurricane
draws
comes.
attention. That's kind of where it goes to.
Yeah.
But we're taking a 180 approach. Where that's number one. That's not how we are at our core.
None
how
of
we
you guys,
communicate.
none of us at our core are like that.
No. Well,
I just
go
don't
back,
like-
At JAG. Like,
Go back to when we had the
owners-
hurricane. All three owners were very concerned about every single client. They didn't sleep for 3 days.
true.
Like
Yeah,
you
that
really
was-
saw like they really cared about the people. They weren't fearful or scared of something
No,
happening. It was like, man, I'm really concerned about my people because they loved their clients.
I don't want to see people suffer. I mean,
Right.
I wasn't worried about me.
You weren't not at all.
But it's worrying. It's almost like just nature. You second guess, double guess. And this person's out of town. Did he send his payment?
Right.
He's not picking up my phone call. I hope he did it. The second guessing and stuff. The hurricanes are. I'm actually glad we're at Thanksgiving, just because we're getting out of hurricane season.
that's what you're
We only
thinking.
had
Now,
one.
now I can go back to being funny again.
Go back to
Well, and if you go back to the
you're at your
content-
funniest in the hurricane season.
yeah, but yeah, let's talk about like the hurricane
That was
season.
my coping
Yeah, that's
mechanism.
what I'm saying. You're really good. Dude.
when the hurricane, it didn't hit us, but when and I forget the name of the hurricane that was the
Dorian?
big,
Was it Dorian?
Dorian,
It was
Dorian.
Dorian.
Gray, yes.
Dorian Gray?
Dorian Gray. It's
It's a literary term. We'll talk about it off air. We don't want to bore anybody, but like
yeah, because I would fall asleep. If
Yeah.
yeah, talking about Dorian.
You would
Gray.
fall asleep without it.
But when Dorian was coming, we crafted content that was informative, but it wasn't like, hey, if you don't have your shirt,
Right,
yeah,
right.
like it was nothing like that because we wanted
That would be fun. That would be funny. That would be funny.
There is a video of Fernie saying, "If you're on social media, you're gonna die." That I've seen. So
No, that's not what he said. No,
think
no,
he said
no. He goes, because that's a funny video. Also, idea. This is, by the way, for the viewers. Like, this is how we craft ideas. It just happens.
Just
and
conversation,
Once it
right.
happens, like everyone has to like start to write.
right,
stuff down.
just write stuff down.
Well, I was filming Fernie after a commercial lines meeting. So when Fernie has his commercial lines meeting, he becomes like a coach. That's very good content.
Yeah.
Because he's articulate, like he's like,
Right.
Bro, it's like I don't know if I should say this on air, but like, you ever seen? It's like in the scene in
The Hangover.
The
You
Hangover.
were
when
talking
Zach
about the other-
Galifianakis enters like the casino, and then like it's all the numbers, and he just understands everything, and he's like this master. That's what Fernie gets when
He
he's
gets
like in his role.
hyper focused.
It's hyper focused. He's already super focused for
He
the
is.
record. We love you, Fernie, a lot. But
You know what? We should just. This is like another test. We should. Every time we do this, we should purposely throw in subtle jokes about people in our office to see if they even hear
If you
it.
see him, you will watch it.
Because You know what?
I man,
have a
I
problem.
actually want to address that in a second.
Just-
not our office engagement. It's more about like how we film. When we film like if there's millions of people watching it.
Right.
Oh,
Like
for
and,
sure.
And the same way, like we don't cater anything to any size of an audience. That's another conversation. That's a deep one. But anyways, I was filming him doing a commercials line meeting, and he's in there, and he was talking to Sandra, at the time she was a new hire. She was he just, you know how you just
Just
talking-
grab
I remember
someone.
this. He just starts.
He
going
just
on.
he locks eyes
He
with
goes-
you and you're
he goes-
stuck.
Yeah.
He goes,
Yeah.
why do you buy life insurance? Because you're going to die. And that's all I clipped in the thing. So he's like, bro, you need more context? I was like, nah, bro.
That's
You don't need more
perfect.
context.
That was-
It's yeah.
I'm just
keep it
hot
simple.
taking
But the
it.
thing is, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
100%. I mean, it's just like you buy insurance for your phone, but not for your life.
For your life.
Phone could be more important.
Yeah.
The phone could be more important. But yeah, no, it always just boils down to like, what does it boil down to?
The best thing about that is that it's authentic.
I'll edit that part. Edit this.
That's
Louis.
that's what I wanted to say is like a lot of times we sell insurance, but I think a lot of times we're selling authenticity.
Yeah.
And I think nowadays with social media, all people want is authenticity.
Correct.
That's the only thing that's gonna sell. Because you see all these like people that say that they're social media gurus, everyone's like, dude, I don't want to see your stuff. Like you're so irrelevant, like you're so fake. I don't want to see
It's
it.
too pristine.
Right. I don't want to
It's
see
too
your
catered.
Ferraris, your fake Ferraris. I don't want to see that. And
I'm
I
sure
think
they're-
Like, dude,
to be
right
fair-
now, like, this is a boom right here. Like, there's a light right there. You got
Well,
cables.
it-
like, same thing over here.
Because people want to assume, people want to hear the result.
right.
It's about the journey. Like it's about what really happens.
And I think that's
that's another deep thing.
And that's
It
why-
is. Well, that's when we talked about before about the realistic approach is figuring out what you want to take your time. Figure out what you want to do in your 20s. Try to build your career in your 30s. Like let's make money when
Yeah.
we're 40. Let's
Yeah.
go fishing when we're 50. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't want to go fishing.
No,
I
fishing. Like, all
You
that.
don't like
wanna-
fishing?
It's gonna be it's gonna be a weird generation when my generation's in their 50s.
I don't know how it's gonna be.
I'm
like,
gonna stay home. I'm gonna play video games at home.
am
I'm
I gonna
tired.
be? I don't know how. I don't. It doesn't process that I'm gonna be one day that guy's like, how do I work a phone? Like I don't. Am I
No,
ever
you
gonna be
won't,
like
no,
that?
I'm
It's
sorry,
not going to be
no.
a phone. It's going to be like a hologram in your
No,
brain.
That's not
it's
entirely true.
Wait, a hologram in your
This
brain.
is a separate
Yeah.
conversation. but
Cold hot take.
We are. I believe that our generation will always be savvy because we
You
were
think so?
taught from a young age to be savvy with
It's just that we saw too much as far as millennials go. We saw so much change in such a short period of
We
time
adapt.
that we had to adapt. And that's kind of a different conversation. But
Everything we talk about a different conversation.
When are these conversations gonna
Let's not
happen?
get too deep. Let's just keep
these
going.
are these are
and not pick a
all
topic.
these are all
Just surface level.
about?
these are all teasers for future episodes you have to watch.
Correct.
What we're gonna be doing when you guys are in your 50s is you're gonna be asking people how do you get to Mars. That's what's gonna happen.
Hey, bro, what's
You
the
think
fast way to
so?
Mars?
Dude,
You
can
think
I
we're
teleport?
I
gonna?
don't
Do you
think
think we're
so.
gonna live in space?
Not like that. Not in our.
I don't-
not in our
not-
existence.
That you can just buy like a ticket to go to Mars?
Nah, nah,
I will tell you
probably
though,
100
that,
years,
that the
100
way
years.
that things you have to think about it. No, Johnny for his early 20s.
23.
I'm early my 30s. Lewis is late
20s.
20s. Gaz,
early 20s.
yeah.
I think he's 18.
I
Whatever.
think he's
Just turned
the
into
youngest
savant.
insurance
Hyperbolic
agency
chamber.
owner in the world. But like, just thinking about the changes in your own life and what's going to happen in the next 10 years. Like insurance, we're the only agency that does this, in my opinion, at the level that we do it. Like,
There's other people that we've partnered up with that they're in the social media game.
Well,
yeah, they're
what-
in the game, but I think if you go to
Because
someone's
what you're about to say is a scorching hot take.
yes, but
I like
you
it.
go to other people's content, and it's not bad content because we're not going to slam anyone here. We rising tide lifts all ships. But the way that we do things, as far as the comedy, like no one is doing the comedy that we're doing. No one is doing.
You're
like,
welcome.
No one
Hey,
is.
man.
No one
It
is
is what it
giving
is.
full access.
Call a spade a spade.
Like insurance agents, I see the content, it's not bad, and they're like, oh, because this concept that.
Okay, so then let's be productive here. Like,
Yeah.
what advice can we give? Not just other insurance agencies. Maybe we could answer that.
Broaden it a little
niche,
bit.
Broaden it. You got business owners. Most business, like new business owners, are in their 30s. You know, maybe early 40s. It could be. You could be any age to start a business, but like, I guess age is not but a number. It's just a mindset.
Yeah.
But rather, what advice can we give to those people who are seeing? I don't know, like, because we look at other people for their content, we're like, man, that content's great.
Yeah.
And
I think you have to do that. You have to.
But what advice can we give someone that's like, okay, like I want to do this. Like I believe in social media 100%. I just don't even know where to start. Like, do I buy myself a camera? Do I buy myself microphones?
Number one thing I think is get your reps in, which is something that I tell the people here, which is just start. Just get your iPhone and like I'm going to a meeting.
It's not even to purchase equipment, because that conversation goes across multiple things. It's like, just see what you have and do what you can with what you have until.
I am convinced you should not be buying any.
100%.
If you have an iPhone,
start with what you have.
All your equipment.
If you have a little rinky-dink camera, point and shoot, use that. If you
and get your a good point about getting your reps in.
Yeah.
This is not completely natural.
We are actively getting our reps in.
yeah.
This is a rep.
People want
But
to know how.
we've taken 100 reps.
Have we checked these times?
I keep looking.
Okay.
Yeah.
About 26 minutes up there.
So
Okay.
and once you do that and you start getting more comfortable, what is your ethos? What is, as to quote Fernando Alvarez,
Ethos.
what is your why?
deep. Yeah.
Why are you doing it? If you're doing
My
it to
wife made a post like that yesterday.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
It
you're.
was a very nice post.
Solid.
It was very nice. I read
Well,
it.
but go back to finish your point.
Like you have to understand what is your goal. Our goal is from a macro level. Is like we want to be the biggest independently owned agency in the Southeast. Quoted Fernando Alvarez 2019. But like
Dodge City, Kansas.
but we're very intentional in that, and it's also like the long game. What you were saying,
We're focused.
we're focused.
Like we know what the end goal is.
We have gradual growth. We're always in the green,
Always
as
in the
Luis
green.
Montejo says, as far as engagement, as
Right.
far as followers. But you cannot, and this is like, the next step, you can't get discouraged at your progress. You can't look at...
Do you remember there was I think when I first started, there was like a week where we gained 2 followers.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Bro, me and you were so happy.
Yes, exactly.
We were like, yes.
Yeah.
And then at a macro, you're like, oh, it's like 2 drops in a huge bucket. I'm like, yeah, but we did something where
But we got 2
new
drops.
people retained info and follow our page.
Yeah, but it's not the ROI on this stuff. It's not tangible.
Well, that's the next step. I'm glad you're bringing it up.
Yeah,
It's like, talk about you, because at the end of the day, like we're just a team that comes and helps. Like we're all a team. We're all a
We're
family,
executing your vision.
but we're executing essentially your vision. So
Right.
like, talk to us a little bit about like what business owners should expect as an ROI.
I mean,
The true ROI.
the true ROI, it just helps. I think it creates kind of a 30 to 20% additional advantage to you in closing your business, right? Like if you still got to work harder and do what you do every day. So in our business is to develop relationships and sell insurance. All the attention does is make that a 30% easier, in essence, right? Because you just when you have these when you're doing what you're doing every day in your course of business, now the conversation changes a little bit. Like we're doing this, a lot because you kind of take away this whole resume building. Like when you're meeting someone for the first time and you're developing a relationship, it's almost like it's a resume, right? What do you do? How do you do it? And if you can eliminate 30% of that conversation up front, you're almost going to skip right into the third part. You know what I'm going to do, and now I'm just telling you how I'm going to do it better. The conversation becomes a little bit less guarded.
Yeah,
it's such an easier thing for people to tell you, hey, if they know what you do, when you start talking to them, it takes 30% of the guesswork out. Now, I've had a couple people kind of take some
They're jealous, bro.
some side shots.
I think so.
They're jealous, man. You know
Even
why?
work.
Because they're business owners. Like, I'm just gonna call it for what it is. They're jealous because you're a business owner and they're a business owner, and they see how you live your life, and you happen to have a good time at work. And
that is the one
they're
thing.
salty.
Okay, so that's not the word jealous. I don't like that word. It's not.
Look, they see you rolling and they hate it.
But I can tell you, most people. I would take a poll, but I don't think most people enjoy their time at work. Right? That's kind of a big
Most
deal.
people
Like,
don't like to
Make
show
up a
you.
percentage. Go for it.
70% maybe.
Really, dude.
I didn't enjoy going to work before I worked at JAG.
I did not enjoy my job.
I think the shift there is, I think if you number one, do you have a job? You have a career. Right? People have jobs. No one likes their job. If anything, that 30% has a career and they enjoy their career. They see the light at the end of the tunnel. There's a carrot ahead of it. But the fact is that we're here. You don't like carrots or whatever.
I do like carrots.
Celery.
Celery,
And ranch.
with ranch.
A ranch shovel.
A ranch shovel with celery.
The ranch.
That's our
Ranch
first
shovel.
coffee. That's our first coffee with gas.
A throwback.
It's a throwback.
I do an anniversary outtake with Ursula.
It's right there. It's done. Clip.
Dude. But going back to so the fact that we're here all the time and to the comment, or if I've had people that if anything has been negative about what we're doing, it's that subtle comment of, hey, you guys even working anymore? But they don't understand that there's 3 of you guys on our media team.
Right.
They think
Correct,
I'm actually doing it. We'll have an idea. It'll take me 20 minutes, which, by the way, most people takes 20 minutes to us to shoot it, and then you guys do the hard work in the background, editing it and posting it.
Well, the biggest thing, I didn't mean to cut you off, Johnny. It's like we have 3 owners who decided, hey, we're gonna pour back into our business, right? So like, let's just call it a spade, right? Like we're gonna take, maybe I'm wrong here, but like pay cuts, and we're gonna pour back into the business.
Correct.
And we're gonna build a department that people think it's a joke. Not people think it's a joke, but it's, why are you guys doing social media?
And because they're not looking, they're looking at the ROI, return on investment.
Or even a 3 to 5 year ROI, which is not the play either.
It's not. We understand the purpose of it, and it's not necessarily we take away from what we're doing, selling insurance. What we're doing is we're telling a better story of how we're doing it. Because I do believe in 10 years, as much as a company, the value we have is going to be our book of business and our clients.
Correct.
But our brand is going to be worth as much and or more.
Yeah.
Cold hot take. They're gonna make a movie about us one day.
Yeah, it's gonna
Cold hot take? What is that?
Yeah, it's a hot take that's gonna be cold for 5 years or 20 years, depending how long it is until it happens.
Do they call that an icy hot take?
Or you're picking
Is that what it's called?
Or you're hedging your bets. Like, hey, that never happens, don't play it. But if it happens, you get to show it.
Yeah.
Amen.
correct. Hedge the bet.
You bet the over and the under just to keep the
Oh
same
wait,
amount of money.
if they do Jag the movie, who plays Gas?
I have to play myself.
Yeah, you have to.
CGI him.
And no
has
one
to.
less than like a Brad Pitt or
Yeah,
DiCaprio
come on.
for my role. Sorry.
Don't. Who are you
You
playing?
can, you can get Mark Ruffalo.
Come on.
Mark Ruffalo.
I'll get Mark Ruffalo.
Solid. Mark Ruffalo.
Mark
Okay.
Ruffalo's, yeah, I'm good with that.
Hey, Mark
I'm
Ruffalo-
fine. I'm fine with
Mark
that.
Ruffalo has some range. Don't slip on him.
He
I've
does,
seen
he
some
does.
different movies.
He play hard.
He
Man,
needs-
talk about it. If anybody thinks they're going to be an actor and actress and they haven't actually seen a Broadway show,
Good
luck.
good luck. Like,
you
come
wanna
sell
be an
insurance because those people are talented. man.
Can we talk? You made a comment the other day that was actually pretty. I don't remember. I think it was during with a coffee with Gaz with Chris that you were like, man, I have a new appreciation for people on camera. You've gained a new appreciation for people who are actors and newscasters and all this.
It's super different.
hard,
It's
man.
different.
Seen that weatherman that does all these dances?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's cute. It's cute.
He's doing his own thing.
It's catchy. He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
That he's creating his own brand.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, I
Man.
mean, go ahead.
No, it was just an idea there, but this whole like spell check thing on our phones is getting a little out of control.
Yeah.
I try to do the spell check about, hey, like, what is TikTok? And the spell check's like, hey man, you're 37.
This is gonna be a very random thing, but
That was
the-
really funny.
That was great. That's a tweet, right? That has to be a tweet.
Hey
Please
man,
tweet
you're
that.
37. Stop. Hey, go home to your kid.
Sure.
Do you think that ever happens with Google? Like now, I'm thinking like what you were saying the other day is like you're like 32 and googling like EDM, and Google comes back and they're like, no.
No, Papi, no.
You can't. No. It's not,
I made a hot take the other day, and John Michael was like, he didn't respond to it.
not okay.
I was like, bro, if you're over the age of 30, stop listening to EDM.
Stop going to.
No, you know what?
Stop
I-
going to,
I
stop
meant
Stop
to-
going to the concert.
He loves EDM.
Going to EDC is what I said.
Yeah,
no,
the
I like house
concerts.
music. I like house.
Yeah.
Swedish House Mafia is, for me was.
Oh,
is
they're
Wow,
iconic.
the documentary was.
They're iconic.
Yeah.
But like, don't go to like Electric Daisy in Orlando.
But yeah, going back to the spell check thing, I just want to get this in. Like, I don't know if it happens to you guys. It's happened to me since I had an iPhone. But like, I put on my way, like
On my way.
OMW.
With the exclamation.
yeah, and then it automatically gives the exclamation point. What if I'm on my way to like a funeral? Now people think I'm excited to be
Correct,
going
to
to the
go.
funeral.
To go.
I'm not excited.
Isn't it funny how
It's a
people
funny take.
assume exclamation points means excitement,
It's emphasis. It's supposed
but
to.
then
be,
people see periods and see anger?
I don't see. Well,
Well, there's a good reason why I see a period and there's anger.
I knew that one was coming.
You know what? Shout out to Chris Kaladi, man.
And this had to have come.
This is coming.
This
I'm saying that
the coming of this is
shout out
here.
to Chris
I was
Kaladi
been waiting for
because,
this convo.
He's consistent.
He tweeted something today that I didn't know how to respond. It was one
But
of the
you
best
wanted to.
observations. He basically said, if I open quotes, that every time he goes to Party City, he thinks about two things: Number one, how are they still in business? And number two, how do they keep all the candy fresh? There's so much candy there.
I've never thought about that.
I'm not gonna probably buy candy there.
I'm not gonna buy candy.
Who buys candy there?
I feel like Party City must make 80% of its profits during the
Well, they're
month
gonna-
of September and October.
Oh,
The
well, no, but we
helium's
went through the helium crisis.
because of
Their
them.
fault.
That was